Comedown Machine, the fifth studio album by American rock band The Strokes, released on the 26th of March 2013. People are very quick to dislike this album, people are very quick to criticise it, and their points of criticism are valid. A lot of people say this album feels uninspired, it feels tired, and a lot of people speculate that this was just a throw-together album to complete their 5-album contract with RCA that they signed all the way back in the early 2000s. You often hear stories of tensions within the band at this time, and you also hear stories about Julian, the lead singer and songwriter, being less present at studio sessions. There was no tour to follow this album's release, and any sort of live performance was minimal, and just looking at the album cover you can tell this wasn't a passion project. Like I said, people are very quick to dislike this album, and with good reason. However, I think Comedown Machine's beauty isn't surface level, rather something you have to look for. So, let's look for it. If you like general music-based content, then subscribe to my channel, and if you like The Strokes, then drop a like so I know to make more videos on them. I think this album's greatest strength is its lyricism. It's not perfect at every single moment, but it's got this pretty consistent, kind of harrowing theme of loneliness. One Way Trigger describes the process of leaving your wife in the middle of the night. The song opens with the lyrics, "Get dressed in your bed while she's asleep. It isn't right, but it isn't hard." And then you get this belting chorus, the narrator telling the other person to find a job, find a friend, find a home, find a dog, settle down out of town. It's a song that begs to be alone, but not in a selfish way. It's more like the narrator is saying, this is not a happy situation we're in, this is not a healthy environment, so please leave. Find a job, find a friend, start a new life without me. And I think that's such a hard emotion to capture, but I think it does it quite well. Then the track Welcome to Japan talks about cheating on your significant other in Japan. Quite a sudden change in tone, but you know, it kind of works. Or at least that's what I think it's about. It does kind of heavily insinuate that. But then that selfless loneliness returns on the track 80's Comedown Machine, which leads with the line, "So please run away." The verse lyrics almost insinuate that the narrator is holding out hope for someone but being constantly let down. And then Chances is the more obvious song about loneliness, with the chorus that leads with, "I'll take my chances alone, get on your horse and be gone." Again, it's this softer, more inward-turned idea of loneliness, you know? I'll take my chances alone, please, please leave, you know? And then finally the album takes a U-turn on the final track, Call It Fate, Call It Karma, which feels like the narrator is being revived, like the sun is rising and new relationships and love is now on the horizon. And I just adore the imagery in the chorus. Can I waste all your time here on the sidewalk? Can I stand in your light just for a while? I think it's so poetic. Moving on from the lyrics, I think instrumentally this album might be more of a personal taste thing. I don't know if this is just me telling myself this based on my assumptions of the songwriting process, but some elements here of the instrumentation do feel a bit rushed. Some of the guitar tones feel a bit unforgiving and unrefined. The synths on One Way Trigger are quite a lot to handle, and even I have to be in a very certain mood to listen to it. And the track 80's Comedown Machine, I think it's done better live. You can see a track of them performing it at Lollapalooza in 2017. I think the guitar tones and the pacing of it is just so much better there. It doesn't feel so beige and dullened. Rather, it feels like this grand orchestral suite, this front of music. But still, the studio version I personally quite like. And I think that's because during the chorus I get the mental image of someone who's in an unhappy position in their life, sat down somewhere where they don't want to be, living a life they don't want to lead, and as the chorus kicks in with this hard left-panned decaying guitar, with this delay that slowly crunches and compresses and distorts, with this right-hand guitar that feels like this tense pacing of time creeping forward, as the lyrics say, please run away, and the whole surrounding instrumentation feels like the world around you is melting, as you sit there, lifeless, watching your life drain away. I think the slow animals versus fast animals debate might be a personal taste thing. I think you can't really compare them, they were going for completely separate things. Rhythmically, I think the track Tap Out is pretty dope, even if the chorus isn't huge. And the track All the Time feels a lot more like a typical Strokes song. But I just really dislike Partners in Crime. I don't know why. I do love The Strokes, but Partners in Crime is one of like 3 songs that I think is just unlistenable. Sure, it's bright and kind of bubbly and inoffensive, but I think the chorus is just annoying, and I think that guitar riff is just so bland. But I do love Chances. Chances is one of my favourite Strokes songs. Even though all the parts aren't exactly the most complex thing, I think the chorus lyrics, when paired with that melody, are really striking. I think this album gets a lot of shtick because the Strokes have some other records that are really good. And compared to Room on Fire and Is This It and The New Abnormal, this pales in comparison. But I still think it's got its good moments, and I don't think you should just throw it in the bin. So what do you guys think? Do you like this album? And if you've not listened to it, why don't you give it a try? If you like general music-based content, then subscribe to my channel, and if you like the Strokes, then drop a like so I know to make more videos on them. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.